Hello and welcome to another one of our informative CME webinars. My name is Bonnie Saxman and I am with Computers Made Effective FirstDragon.com. We are thrilled to have you on our webinar today. As part of our webinar series, we have invited EXSCRIBE Orthopedic Healthcare Solutions to demonstrate their EHR and its compatibility with Dragon Medical One, our cloud-based speech recognition solution. We have been in partnership with EXSCRIBE for almost 10 years now and have many happy mutual clients together. We also participate each year at their user conference where we get to engage with both new and existing clients. Before I introduce our guest speaker, Mike Broker, let me tell you a little bit about EXSCRIBE. EXSCRIBE is the very first EHR developed by orthopedists and designed exclusively for orthopedic practices. We can vouch for the fact that EXSCRIBE is committed to their client base and continues to develop their EHR platform, which is guided by an advisory group consisting of orthopedic surgeons, administrators, and industry consultants. In other words, the right people to influence future development of their software. Next slide, please. I now have the honor of introducing our guest speaker, Mike Broker. Mike is the Central Regional Sales Manager with EXSCRIBE and is going to demonstrate how Dragon Medical One can expand on a patient visit node using EXSCRIBE's EHR. Next slide, please. Mike will provide you with a brief overview of EXSCRIBE's EHR and demonstrate the level of compatibility with Dragon Medical One by saying some straight dictation and providing examples of macro and navigational commands. Mike will also show you how easy it is to modify text using Dragon Medical One. Take it away, Mike.
Thanks, Bonnie. Can you hear me? If you could switch the screen over to me, I can become the presenter and show my screen, unless I am supposed to be doing it. And get rid of that. No, that's not me. Okay, here we go. And let me know if you can see my screen now. Bonnie, yep, there it is. It's showing. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. We're gonna, like I say, we're just gonna do a really brief overview of our EHR and its capabilities. Mainly, we want to show you how well we work with Dragon. So the reasons that Dragon and EXSCRIBE go so well together are many, but can really be boiled down to two major ones. And the first one Bonnie touched on, and it's relationships. I've known Bonnie and her team for all of my 8 years here at EXSCRIBE, and I highly recommend her and her services to everyone I meet. They, like us, really take care of their clients, and they're probably one of the strongest reasons that EXSCRIBE has a 97.8% client retention rate in our 19-year history. It's just unheard of. Second reason is customization. Dragon's ability to be customized to the user is nearly infinite, similar to our orthopedic-only EHR. And this is what makes our partnership work so well in reducing documentation time for our surgeons. All right, let me show you around the screen here a little bit, get my yellow highlighter. This is our workflow bar in the EHR. And basically, if you follow these one to the next, it's going to take the patient from incoming to your clinic to checking them out. A lot of our customization is seen right in here. We've got these color codes that you can customize yourself. These down here will show you who's in what room and what they're there for, things like that, and those are customizable too. When we go to the chart, it brings in the chart, and the actual EMR itself is right here, your typical EMR with all of its tabs. And here's your old paper face sheet if you were still on paper, and a lot of the links that you need for quickly getting to any place in the chart. We go to the history. This is going to come from the patient via patient portal or our iPad app. They can enter all this themselves. And the medical information tab, of course, that was for Meaningful Use 1, the very first thing that we had to do. And it was broken out separately. Now, the HPI screen, this is one of the cooler things that our system does. Based upon what the patient filled out, this gets filled in, so your staff or your doctor doesn't have to do it. All right? And that can be added to, and as you will see when we get into our documentation. So then the patient, or we then go to the super bill, and this is our patent pending ICD-10 and diagnosis lookup, and your staff would simply choose new patient typically, and they're going to choose the body part based upon that patient. All right, once the doctor comes around, well, they can also typically go and they can order an X-ray, because that's standard for what new patients do and most clinics. And then when the doctor gets in, he can see this screen. So he read the HPI and he kind of has it narrowed down to what it probably is. He comes in, he does what? He interviews the patient, he does his exam, and he gives his orders. Well, with our system, we've got our protocols, and these are customizable per physician. And if I've determined that he's probably got an RC tear, with a double click like that, I can simply choose that and all of my orders come up. And these, and you know, if you're orthopedic, that something like 75% of your injuries that you treat are your common injuries. All right, so now we're going to go to our documentation, and we're going to start showing you what you can do with the Dragon. We do want to save our changes, and we do want to bring in the history that the patient filled out. And so now here is our note. So there is the HPI from the patient based upon what they filled out online or on the iPad. But let's say I wanted to expand on this, which a lot of doctors do, because they like to personalize this a little bit. It helps them remember what the patient's injury was and where they come from. Okay, so now I'm going to put the cursor in there. Now I've got my Dragon mic in my hand, and I'm going to add the reason. Problem started after an injury. Let's see, we're going to say, patient was on a step ladder painting a ceiling when the ladder slipped and he caught himself with his arm, causing the injury, period. And I let go, and now there is my Dragon phrase right there. If you haven't seen Dragon in a while, it is extremely faster than it was 5-6 years ago. You can also navigate. Dragon is fully integrated with our system. You can jump to and use the commands. You can use any macros that you have within Dragon. So let's see, we're going to go jump to exam. The cursor jumps down here. We've got it set up to go to the bottom of our exam so that we can see all of it. Jump to sensation. Each time you'll see this green over here. It's a command within Dragon. So now it's jump to here in sensation. Select all. And I want to change it. So now I'm going to say sensation is diminished anteriorly. Period. All right, let's do some more. The macro capabilities. Okay, so jump to shoulder X-ray. A lot of X-rays get the same thing said time after time. So let's do this. Normal shoulder. And my normal shoulder macro just goes right in there just like that. Okay, let's see, I wanted to do this next. If you need to modify it, for instance, you can modify it. And I can say, select not. Delete that. So examination joint does reveal any joint space. Well, that doesn't sound real good. But anyway, you can see the point, how you can use that to modify. Let's jump to plan. Goes down to the plan. I scroll up a little bit, so now you're going to want to talk about it. You could put a macro in here like we often do, and we've got our own macros built in over here. But let's show you some more of how fast the Dragon can work. We discussed the pathology of rotator cuff tear and various treatment options available, period. Since patient has considerable pain, I injected the shoulder under strict aseptic precautions, period. Appropriate post-injection instructions were given, period. I have also suggested a short course of PT for rotator cuff strengthening exercises, period. If shoulder pain persists or recurs, patient will get in touch with the office, period. If pain persists, we may need to get an MRI of the shoulder to evaluate the rotator cuff, period. One of the things that I didn't discuss, and Bonnie and I have talked about this at length, I have not even fully trained my Dragon. You know, you saw that movie, How to Train Your Dragon. So it gets used to your voice, and you can teach it, and it will get better and better if you actually go through the training, and it gets used to, like I say, to your voice. And that's it. EXSCRIBE's ORTHOPEDIC EHR, our customizations and protocols and macros, along with Dragon's ability to fully navigate in our system and use all of its customizations and macros, combined to reduce the time it takes for documentations. Now, do we have any questions, or do we want to jump back to Bonnie? I did want to say that if any of you on here today would like to see another one of these demos or a repeat of this one, we are more than happy to do that, or do one individually for your particular clinic. Bonnie, anything? Or do you want to open the floor for questions? You'll have to take it off mute first. Can't hear you.
Yes, I'm here. Thank you, Mike. And that was a wonderful, brief demonstration. And like Mike said, if you'd like to see something in more depth that would be specific to your practice, feel free to give him a call. We'll be providing his contact information shortly. So let's see, we've got a few questions in the queue. let me just go ahead and then feel free to enter your questions and we'll just go from there. Okay, first question. Do you offer special discounts for EXSCRIBE users? So that would be directed to us. And I'd like to say yes, we absolutely do. We offer project management at no charge and also offer discounts on our microphones and digital recorders. Okay, number 2, is there a limit to the amount of commands that can be added to Dragon Medical One? No, there is no limit at all. There are unlimited, not only macro commands, but also navigational commands. Next question in the queue. Do you offer an import of the current commands? Yes, we absolutely do, and we customize those commands for each client. Good question. All right, any more questions? All right, here's another one. Do you offer training to show a user how to build their own commands? Yes, actually, that's another great question. We offer 2 different training sessions. The first session gets you set up and using the software, teaching you the command, showing you how to use it within a test patient of your EHR to incorporate into your workflow. We then want you to go live for a few weeks, and then we schedule an optimization session. During that optimization session, we will train and provide that information to those users, because once you start using the software together with EXSCRIBE, you're going to want to learn more commands. Great question. All right, do we have any other questions? I don't see any. Okay, well, next slide, please. There we go. Thank you. If you would like more information on either EXSCRIBE or on one of our Dragon Medical solutions, we have provided contact information for Mr. Broker there and for us. Feel free to either call us or email us. And Mike and his team, as I mentioned, can provide you with a more in-depth review of their orthopedic EHR. We'll be happy to schedule a workflow discussion with you to determine how best to help you with your patient narratives. And if we determine that Dragon Medical One is the right solution for you, we are happy to offer you a 7-day trial at no charge or obligation. That way you can conduct your own proof of concept. Please note that a link to this particular recording will be sent to all attendees. Let me look one more time for questions. Don't see any. So if no more questions, we would like to take this opportunity to thank Mike Broker for participating on our webinar today, and to also thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to view our webinar. We hope you found it a useful experience. Please note that you'll be placed on our email list to receive updates on future webinars. Until next time, thanks again.